Recording up. It says we're recording on Zoom, so that's awesome. Welcome, guys. It's me, Suze Pratt, your holistic stylist, with a episode of Hair Emporium Unplugged that, believe it or not, and this is so ridiculous, I shouldn't even cuss about it. Okay, we're going to connect Sierra Leone, the Ebola virus, and the Shea Moisture product line, as well as the blood diamonds. Earlier at the 10 o'clock news, it surprised me, the little story about the lawsuit. There's a woman offended. A black woman is offended that they have locked up the Shea Moisture hair care, and so there'll be a lawsuit. Now, see, that's the very shiny bauble that distracts people from the real story was Sierra Leone. So I pulled up my Google search, and it was 2014 that we should begin that story. Now, in the meantime, I know really most people would say, well, it doesn't interest me. I don't know anybody in Sierra Leone, and I don't need a hair care, body care line, so this video isn't for me. But see, this is really the human story. So this video is for anyone that has a heart and a brain and a little discernment. So I wanted to read you the story of Shea Moisture to begin this. And it says, our story. Sophie Tucker started selling shea nuts of the village market in Banff, Sierra Leone in 1912. By age 19, the widowed mother of 4 was selling shea butter, African black soap, and the homemade hair and skin preparations all over the countryside. Sophie Tucker was our grandmother, and Shea Moisture is hair legacy. With this purchase, you help empower disadvantaged women to realize a brighter, healthier future. And so the 3 main ingredients that would be, positive selling points would be coconut oil, and that nourishes and moisturizes skin with vitamin E and K, iron, and fatty acids. The hibiscus flower, it says this material, this natural emollient, treats dry, rough skin and helps improve skin tone. The print is small and it's a little fuzzy. Vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant, highly effective in protecting skin from the free radical damage. And then, of course, we have our ingredients. Let's see. Now, the corporation that bought them out would be Sundial Brands, and that's an LLC, limited liability contractor, right? 11 Ronick Drive, South Amityville, New York, 11701. Okay. And then we have a main connect to Sweden in this story as well. And now this product is made in the USA. And of course, it's ethically traded in yakety squack, but I don't know that I buy that considering what I know about this story. So, like I said, we use these products: shampoo, conditioner, body wash, bath oil, and also a moisturizer. So let's share the screen. And remember, I'm not allowed to use this product because I don't have black skin. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so like I said, do you guys remember that nasty little Ebola outbreak? Says it's West Africa, 2014. Well, what we were talking about between the time that I broke from the first Facebook Live and came back with this report was they made that big deal about the white doctor coming back home. Remember, he was sick and he lived, he was in the big hospital and poof, he was fine. They also brought back a female nurse. Now, back then, it wiped out over 1,000 indigenous people to Sierra Leone. And you have to go back to the old stories about the conquerors coming with their germs and things that were, not native, of course, to Sierra Leone. And it's really easy to have outbreaks. So we have to wonder what got dropped on those people. And of course, like we know now, could be a dozen different things, right? They could have got them in their water, the food, the air. I'd say not the soil in this story, but you get what I'm talking about. Now, the other big deal in this story is the blood diamonds. And I know they always talk about De Beers, but, when they take slaves and have them mine all day and charge people ridiculous amounts of money to put a ring on it, right? Well, see, people don't know how common diamonds are and that they're actually being mined for the technology and the electronics. Originally, your phonograph needles had a diamond tip, and that's how they played and sounded great, right? Okay. We've got over 1 million results, but I'll just read you a little bit. An Ebola virus epidemic in Sierra Leone occurred in 2014, along with the neighboring countries of Guinea and Liberia. On March 18, 2014, Guinean health officials announced the outbreak of a mysterious hemorrhage fever, which strikes like lightning. It was identified as Ebola virus disease and spread to Sierra Leone. Okay. The lingering shadow of Ebola outbreak from Al Jazeera. Oh, people affected by the Ebola virus are showing signs of post-traumatic stress disorders a year after the epidemic was defeated. Well, right. See, that's where people like and her buddies, all the high rollers come in with their free help and their vaccines. And isn't it convenient? Everybody's displaced. People, families are split up. And there's the Red Cross. Next thing you know, people are getting blood typed and things. And some people go this way, some people go that way. It's amazing they can strip the entire human body, use every resource. And I don't know if they do this over there, but I just heard earlier today that say, what is that messed up ritual they do around Super Bowl? Y'all know where all those presidents go and do what they do. But Hillary's emails and some other people referred to it as the farm. And so once you've used the body to its fullest extent, seeing these rituals, well then You just put it out there where them pigs are, see? And the pigs eat the bones and then they eat all the leftover. No problem. And they think they're funny. See, but here again, this is case after case after case of a legal term called blood libel. And the last case, of course, was early in the beginning of the 20th century, I believe 1907. And so what do? I mean, they get so embarrassed, just it's one group of people, but the entire tribe is so embarrassed that nobody ever talks about it again. And then they double down like this. Pathetic. Let's see. Oh, this is good. Experiences and lessons from Sierra Leone. Now, this is from theconversation.com, April 23rd, 2017. It's 18 months since Sierra Leone was declared Ebola free after a 2-year outbreak that left 4,000 people dead. While the outbreak might be over, its effects will persist for many years. In the small nation with a population of just 7 million, many lost relatives and friends to the disease. And its economy was sure blown out of the water. We have one here from 2016. CDC government. Let's go check this one out. Hola. Here we go. Can everybody see that on the Facebook? Do you want to tag Suze Pratt in this video? Sure. Tag my happy ass. CDC 24/7 saving lives, protecting people. Morbidity and mortality weekly report. Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. Here's a summary. Developing a surveillance system during a public health emergency is always challenging. It is especially so in countries with limited public health infrastructure. Surveillance for Ebola virus disease in the West African countries, heavily affected by Ebola, face numerous impediments, including insufficient numbers of trained staff, community reticence to report cases and contacts, limited information technology resources, limited telephone and internet service, an overwhelmingly number of infected persons. Through the work of the CDC and numerous partners, including all the country ministries of the health and the World Health Organization and other government and non-government organizations, functional Ebola surveillance was established and maintained in these countries. CDC staff were heavily involved in implementing case surveillance systems, sustaining case surveillance and contact tracking, and interpreting surveillance data. In addition to helping the ministries of health and other partners understand and manage the epidemic, CDC's activities strengthened epidemiologic and data management capacity to improve routine surveillance in the countries affected, even after the Ebola epidemic ended, and enhanced local capacity to respond quickly to future public health emergencies. However, the many obstacles overcome during development of these Ebola surveillance systems highlight the need to have strong public health, surveillance, and information technology infrastructure in place before a public health emergency occurs. Intense long-term focus on strengthening public health surveillance systems in developing countries, as described in the Global Health Security Agenda, is needed. And of course, this was especially true during the 2014 to 2016 Ebola virus disease epidemic in West Africa. During the epidemic, CDC, along with many other organizations, overcame challenges to conducting effective surveillance in the three countries that were heavily affected. So, between all the sick people that have the leftover stress on their bodies and the dis-ease of this virus, they're also like, way in over their head when it comes to the sex trafficking. So you wonder, is that like one of those things where misery loves company? More people sick, the better. Of course, they're going to keep surveilling it. That's great. That makes everybody feel wonderful. They have the National Alert System. They have walk-ins to Ebola treatment units, holding centers, and hospitals. That all goes together. If a possible case is identified, they gather additional information. You gotta love a good database, don't you? Hey, if I give you the name of a bunch of kids, do you think your database could do some cross-referencing, or are these people all anonymous or incognito or on the down low or made up names? Because what is being done to steal land and to lose energy and to make people wonder, well, how does this happen? How is it people abuse their kids and do rotten things? Well, when you look at what's going on and tie it all together, it should be really simple. This is specifically on Sierra Leone. When the CDC team arrived in Sierra Leone in early August 2014, the country already had reported approximately 550 Ebola cases. The team found that because of Sierra Leone's decentralized health system, districts were taking different approaches to control the epidemic, including using different case definitions. CDC, WHO, the Sierra Leone Ministry of Health and Sanitation, and other partners quickly began creation of a consistent national surveillance system. Yeah, you already said that. Protocol. We should go see what year Sundial bought these guys. We're going to do that next. Although Sierra Leone's surveillance system is similar in many ways to those in Guinea and Liberia, it has several unique features. For example, beginning in October 2014, Sierra Leone's policy was that all deaths, not just those of persons whose illness met the Ebola case definition, would be tested for Ebola. A unique approach that enabled Ebola laboratory records to double as a short-term death registry. Sierra Leone also used multidisciplinary field teams to conduct periodic surges of house-to-house active case finding, beginning with the western area, which is Freetown and surrounding region. More on the database. In October 2014, CDC worked with the International Rescue Committee and the Biodistrict Health Management Team to develop and implement community event-based surveillance to supplement case finding and contact tracing, an initiative piloted in Bo and then adopted as part of the national surveillance strategy. CDC helped train local contact tracing staff, beginning with the Bow District in November of 2014 and January of 2015. CDC also helped support the Western Area Surge Strategy, which was implemented in December 2014, in which many additional district surveillance officers, contact tracers, and community mobilizers were recruited and trained across Western area. The surge greatly improved contact tracing capacity in this region. In January 2015, CDC staff helped distribute and train local and partner staff to use an updated case identification form with water-resistant unique ID stickers that enable use of a universal ID by the laboratory, ETU, and district surveillance officers. CDC staff also were pivotal in identifying laboratory performance and coordination issues for some districts, distributing laboratory results to surveillance staff to help with contact tracing and patient management. Yeah, you guys should check this one out. It's full of good information if you had any interest in, nature, the rainforest, or the good people that were indigenous to the land before they were smited by the corporate beast. All right. Now, I think we should play a new game, which would be, let's find out about Shea Moisture. Shea Moisture. See, it's all over the place. Let's just go over here and see. Now, of course, this is all about buying it. Remember, now they're going to get sued because somebody's crying that it's only for black people, and I'm telling you this white girl uses it. Like I said, we got the shiny bauble. Now, this company was founded in Harlem in 1991 by Liberians. Hey, wait a second. Neem Tubman and Richelieu Dennis, both of whom were what? Let's go see. I'd love to tell you about the music I have barely playing in the background, but I can't bring myself to it. I can't focus. Richelieu Dennis, born in Liberia. Organization founded Shea Moisture. But I thought Sophie Tucker, well, see, it wasn't called Shea Moisture back then. I get it. Okay, so what do we got? Sundial Brands. Born in Liberia, Sundial Brands CEO came to the U.S. and attended renowned business school, Babson College. When he graduated in 1991, he was unable to return to Liberia because of the Civil War. Driven by his passion for entrepreneurship and sustained by a vision to fill unmet consumer needs. No, I want to know when your corporation bought it from Sophie Tucker, because it was bought out, and I remember that. Oh, look. What's this? This is from theroot.com, January 3rd, 2018. The brand was looking for another buyer and has apparently found one with Essence Ventures, which was founded and is chaired by Liberian American dude right here, Mr. Dennis, who also is a founder of Shea Moisture. In November, Unilever acquired the parent company from Shea Moisture. So now we're looking more at Unilever, aren't we? He opens up about his mistakes with Shea Moisture here. Now, even back then, see, my big mouth was telling everybody it was for white people. So I'd be very surprised if you really thought it was a huge mistake that you did this, but I still want to know Sophie's story, and I feel like this is just so conveniently void. What were your early years in West Africa like? My mother is Sierra Leonean and my father Liberian. There, no, it's just more of that. You know what? I don't really do Wikipedia. I know that sounds bad, and I know New York Times is whatever too, right? Yeah, he's one of the most creative people in the world. Long road to shaking up the beauty business. I wonder what you think about this lawsuit. What your net worth? All right, let's go find out. Sundial pulled in an estimated 200 million in revenue in 2015, an increase of 31% year over year. Such growth caught the attention of Bain Capital, which in September 2015 acquired a minority stake in the family-owned company for an undisclosed amount, valuing it at an estimated 700 million. Now, what I had witnessed to earlier was I was estimating it was about 4 years ago that this change happened in Shea Moisture, and it had to do with a takeover. So this is September 2015. I'm going to have to say this is what it is. Who's the owner of Shea Moisture? Is the company Nubian Heritage, owned by blacks? Who owns Essence Ventures? And who's the owner of Essence Magazine? Well, you know my silly butt don't know. Let's find out. Is the company Nubian Heritage owned by blacks? Remember, it's a black gal crying that it's getting locked up and it's only for black people. That sounds like a setup to make everybody fight. Mr. Slick sitting on the wall. Shea Moisture founder shuts down talk. He's sold out. For more than 25 years, Sundial Brands, the maker of popular natural skincare and hair products under the brands Shea Moisture and Nubian Heritage, has been independent, family-run, and black-owned. Now things are a little different. September 15th, 2015. So now we get the complete date, because in the reveal above, it's just September 15th with Skippy there sitting on the wall. But by it specifically, things are a little different as of September 15th, 2015. Makers of Shea Moisture take on investor Madame Noir. Who are you? Let's find out. Shea Moisture founder shuts down talks. He's sold out. And this is by Anne Brown. I don't think I want to listen to this, though, because you'll be telling me I can't. Where do we go? To the Camry yet? I don't think so. Okay. Here we go. Now things are a little different. Private equity firm Bain Capital LLC has taken a minority stake in Sundial, a move that Sundial's founder and CEO, Mr. Dennis, says was about right timing. So if he says it's about right timing, and the Ebola outbreak was in 2014, I have to ask Mr. Dennis, was the timing right? Because the price tag was right and you could get in there and scoop everything up and then sell off, because now you've just sold off, and I haven't chased down your new friend, but most people know in the corporate world, like you, Roland, that y'all are connected and y'all sit on the same boards. So I don't think it much matters. Let's see. He says, so I'm quoting him in this article. What's interesting is that we've been approached by just about every multinational company that is out there over the last year, 2 years, and for us it was and has always been about being family owned, community owned for the last 25 years, until they stole Sophie's family blind. Oh, sorry. Okay. We remained independent. All that time we had gotten approached. We knew we didn't want to sell, but the question was how to compete with all these multinationals focused in on our consumer trying to make similar products. Faced with the dilemma of how to grow without sufficient capital, Dennis said the answer was to take on an investor. So I got a question for Dennis here again. Now, you're telling me that you were that willing to cut off 3 other colors or races of people to insist that this line, the only consumers really were the African American crowd. I mean, because here again, I use this product and I've been recommending it to people longer than your happy ass has been sitting on that wall in that picture of yours. So I just wanted to make sure to call extra good bullshit, because this is ridiculous, and you ain't nothing but dust in this story. And then run off and sell it and go hide somewhere, you big puss. All right, sorry. Let's get back to it. Oh, and that's where we as black business struggle. So other color businesses don't struggle, I see. Okay. And the other place we struggle is scale, and because we don't have an access to capital, we cannot scale. We are not interested in growth for the sake of growing. We are interested in purposeful growth. The investment deal had to be made with a partner that had social mission at the core of its business model. I'd like to know if social mission is equivalent to right livelihood. We should ask Gerald Slente, because I don't know. The new development is a delicate one for Sundial, and its brands have become a favorite mainly with the African American consumer, looking for natural, certified, organic, and ethically sourced ingredients. You know, I turned the brothers on to Shea Moisture at Walgreens, so I'm not buying your story still. Dennis launched the company in 1992 with his mother, Mary Dennis, and his college roommate, Niema Tubman, shortly after graduating from college, where he found he would be unable to return to his home country of Liberia because of the Civil War in the African nation. Dennis crafted the company by using culturally authentic family traditions passed down from his grandmother. So, is Dennis saying that his grandmother is Sophie Tucker? Or, because that doesn't sound right. I mean, she was having babies around 1920. Could you be sired from one of Sophie's kin and like you're some offshoot dude. I mean, because I don't see the last name Tucker anywhere. Not that you'd have to be Dennis Tucker, but we have a lot of questions. Since you grew up here, you knew everybody, didn't you? Consumers like the idea of the company being black owned and being family, but Dennis said Sundial customers should not worry about that changing. I can't believe that my money wouldn't be green enough, right? Especially when I give recommendations. And I'm like the least prejudiced girl going, as everybody knows. Oh, tell me about when you were a kid. Okay. As a kid growing up, one of the brands I thought was tremendous was Carl Canny. And I don't see Carl Canny today. I want to see Shea Moisture tomorrow, declares Dennis. Once a company develops out of its consumer base, you will often see a well-funded multinational company come in and take over that space. Black-owned company either stays a niche company or just disappears. This is something we don't want to happen. Now with this investment, it allows us to make moves. It will keep this company in the family for another 4 generations and beyond. My goal is to have my children take over and their children and so on. Hey, Dennis, how you doing that when all these babies are getting sold up over there? How's that work? Because don't tell me you don't know about this. I got so many pictures, you don't even want to know. I doubt you even wrote this or were interviewed. This sounds like a puff piece. The Bain deal was a good fit for Sundial because they wanted to stay true to the core values as a company. Yeah, true to the community and customers and true to the mission. Bain has had a history in being interested in helping socially minded companies like ours. We got to go look this Bain up. We looked at their investment in Tom's shoes. Each pair of shoes you purchase, Tom gives a pair to a child in need. And we knew the business was socially driven, he said. Nike gives shoes to kids over there to do lots of things. And if this is Tom's, are we talking about like Tom's toothpaste and Tom's natural body care products? Because, have they been in a heap load of shit too? And they're not as clean as they make out to be. They've been busted on this already. Yeah. They're going to keep helping that African cooperative too. It's Sundial's a certified B Corporation company with a Fair for Life social and fair trade certification. Then why isn't it made where the ingredients come from? And we got America and Sweden involved. You need more preservatives when you, they used to use vitamins A, C, and E to preserve this product. I'll have to get my magnifying glass out. Okay, so through its community commerce, purpose-driven business model, entrepreneurship, women's empowerment, education, and wellness states its website. I wonder if you mean like how Oprah helps all them kids over at that girls' school. Is that what you're talking about? Let's just look at one more thing. In Ghana, they have over 4,000 women that work with the cooperatives. We provide them everything they need to do what they want them to do. Bane's also going to have a greater impact in the community here in the U.S. I'm sure. For example, we want to extend the Sundial Community Commerce Entrepreneurs Fellowship at Dartmouth Tuck School of Business to reach 12 women, up to 6 per year. I know what you know is going on up in the colleges. As long as it's all Jesuit run, it don't matter what color it is, it's dirty. You want to help people go through the different stages of their life, do you? Hey, look at this. Sundial did hit a bump in the road with its client base earlier this year when some perceived Shea Moisture ads featuring white children was a sign the company was turning its back on its loyal customers. He insisted the campaign was not a planned ad or a marketing strategy. It wasn't even a marketing campaign. It was just a social media post, he noted, taking a positive spin on the backlash from the company's black consumer. What that incident really showed us was that the passion our customers have for our brands. It also showed what a huge responsibility we had as a company have to the community. Oh my goodness. Now, of course, we could go to the 10 reasons we partnered with Bain listed on the website, but I'm more curious about this. This is a Sundial website. I thought we were looking at Bain. What it means to be loved, how it all started, the brands we nurture, latest news, love of our world, and love of our community. That's a lovely website, but it's not what you said it would be when I got here. Right. All right. You want to play? Let's find out about Bain. We'll go to this. Let's go to your top 10 reasons that you chose a new partner. They brought him on as a minority, non-control investor. Everybody was writing to him, so they decided to do this. That's why it happened. Red and orange, hot and angry. Yeah, I already read that snack. This is the same shit you were talking about in your article over there. You just put it in a different format. I know how this works. He's humbled by the sacrifices everybody, gave his. Right, you want to leave the world a better place. What? For Sophia, the artificial intelligence, or the people that are eating the kids? I'm not really quite sure who you're talking to. It's a snazzy fucking thing, isn't it? I mean, that would really impress somebody, I think. Actually, people really don't care, do they? But that was interesting. It was an interesting walk down the tunnel of terror about a product. It was reasonably priced. And, another one bites the dust. The clean companies have a tendency to be bought out. But see, the corporations are like the media. I mean, if it's down to 5 people that, actually have names that control it, it's just kind of like pass the hot potato or something. Hey, How many of you guys, I mean, really with a straight face, let me just move this over, want to think the dude here is Elvis? I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard yet, and I got a lot of friends around the world, so here's a little piece of hot gossip for my friends. So, I got this new channel I hang out at, and come to find out, there's a dude by the name of Sandro, Sandro. Very fine looking man. And of course, yeah, they know him as the Latin American Elvis. So when you're talking about Elvis Presley, it's this color right here. See, that's not a spray tan, y'all. I mean, that's not camera tricks either. This is classic. And so, see, I got a huge clue because, of course, you know, I'm the leading authority on all fun to do with the International Man of Mystery, Mr. AP #1, Adam Presley. I say he's the son of Sandro, but what do I know? See this signature? And if you guys watched my 10-minute video that has the 3 different signatures, there was one with a loop in the center of the E. And look at all this loopity-loop smack. Kabinga, binga, binga. And you see that P is intermixed in with all that. That's not Elvis Presley's signature, ding-dongs. And look at all this little whoop-diddy-doo. Whoop-diddy-doo, diddy-doo, up, down. And I love this because you see, if somebody tells you that you can't sing, can you find a way to take your singing and tell the story? Well, of course, I think that's super cool. And I'll tell you why it's really, really, really cool. Is because the music you can barely hear playing in the background, ever so quiet. Let me give you my remote viewing take on that. I almost need my fan to hold in front of my face, but it was about a week ago. And these get kicked up. You know, that means just published. And there's 3. And I'll tell you the name of it if you guys want to go check it out. It's called Sandro, Behind Closed Doors. And it's rare. Now, this is all written in Spanish, mind you, but you get what I'm talking about. And I'll take you over there in a minute because we're getting ready to cut out of here. But every time I see this face, I'm like, oh, this is the really sad part in the music that you can barely hear. This is the War in the Heavens. And of course, remote, Courtney Brown and his remote viewing people. And they just put it out. So you guys are going to find out what I believe the real story to be about this and what all this stuff has meant through this whole progression. But if I was to say this is the one I'm interacting with, you know, that's crying about the explosion going on here. This one, man, you know, it could easily, very easily be this one. But Could be that original. See, but either way it goes, it's not the Elvis y'all knew with the little short face with the lighter skin and the blue eyes. I mean, is it really? They're all tripping now because, see, all these jackasses has stole this man's pictures, and they're running scared, and they got him in every new magazine going, acting like they were something they lost under the dresser, you know. Oh yeah, and it's too late to turn back, isn't it? See, he's talking about, hey Sophia, you just got blew up. So it's a lot of crash bang boom. It makes me sad every time I hear it. I listened to them each about 4 times and remote viewed them. The other day I had a client here that her parents are full-blooded Cuban, of course, and you know, live in Florida and Chicago, and of course are very true to their culture. And my client can still remember the language, of course, and is used to it. So she translated a little bit for me. And you know, when you listen to it, I mean, anybody that chooses to, I'll be curious to what you think about it. And there's certain words I thought I knew for sure. And I kept thinking they were saying political asshole, and she goes, Suze, I know it sounds like political asshole, but it's not. And of course that's just one thing amongst many, which are very funny. I do need to do a disclosure on that, but I'll tell you what I know this to be. It's the new 21st century late night double feature picture show, and it's The War in the Heavens, and he tells the whole story. That's right. Okay, so let me take you over to the channel. I'll introduce you personally. Okay, Julian Otal, or Otal, like a good old Southern girl would say. Landy, JulianOtalLandi. And he's got a lot of interesting things here, as you can see. This one, you know, totally stung. This one, the female's part, I think, to the other 3. And of course, if you want to know who Sandro is, I mean, for real, this is a real deal that was all over TV. I mean, he was like Mr. Popular. You think Elvis is popular over here? Meet him over there. Mind blowing. Here's the playlist. Elvis, Sandro, Robert Carlos, Tom Jones, all the hotties. Oh, you gotta love it. I mean, the Never Ending Story is just a full-blown trip, man. But promise you, it's real. And last Wednesday, a whole bunch of people saw him in Atlanta. I mean, I wasn't there in Atlanta. I was here remote viewing through the phone. He was singing live. He was playing the things I've heard that I kept telling y'all that he sang after 2000. Time traveler, Highlander, multipreneur, all around incredible, mysterious whatever. But, you know, it's like he's scared to come to my door after he's been interacting with me for 42 months. So good luck to us all. And keep the faith. I'll talk to you real soon. Peace, love, and light in the big yellow house. I'm up there, Cosmic Ray. Stop that share. Alright, looks like we are live. What a big show tonight, guys. Talk soon. Get our Zoom recording up. It says we're recording on Zoom.